I am 44 years old, and it's the first time that I have really found my why in life and around my business. So, I'm going to speak to you now about why I chose to speak on stages, why I speak on stages, what I speak about, because for a lot of people, speaking to a crowd or speaking in public or where they know they're going to be seen on social media is their worst nightmare. But it's only now that I've really figured out why, and it's really making sense. So before I was born, I was put up for adoption by my birth mum. Put up, not given up, because she made that conscious decision, and you know what, it was the best decision that ever happened, the best thing that happened to me in my life. It was meant to be. Now, it's only been now since I've learned about myself more, I've got to this point that I've been able to talk about that and even say that out loud. So being adopted, being transracially adopted, so growing up with people that don't look like me, has been part of my journey. And although I was and am fortunate to be adopted, my parents that chose me, and I have an adopted brother as well, it was a really great upbringing, lots of love and everything. It had its challenges because they didn't look like me. But also right from the beginning, in primary school, I was written off. I found it really hard to learn to read. Spelling, forget it. I would learn my spellings at home, try hard, and then get to the test. Couldn't remember them. Remember them at home, get to the test, couldn't remember them the next day. Times tables, absolutely forget it. I still don't know them now. And I really struggled academically at school and primary school. But my mum used to say I used to go into school and literally disappear because she knew I was intelligent and amazing and articulate and creative, but that wasn't brought out of me in school. So if you flip forward, my parents were told when I was around 8 that I wouldn't be able to pass any of my exams. I wasn't meant to take until year 8, age 16, but I smashed them. And I passed them all. I even got an A star, like top distinction, 9 I think it is now, grade 9. And I worked hard, but I found out later on that I'm dyslexic, and that I didn't find that out until I was 18, and then I didn't find out that I was dyspraxic as well until I was 26 in my working life. So those things were hard, and at the time I kind of just thought, this is me, things are just hard work, that's how it goes for me. But I found that swimming is my superpower. So my parents recognised in me that actually it was something I was good at. I was good at sports, I was good at arts and crafts and art and design, but swimming was the one. So I was blessed, and they made sure that I had lessons, and they saw it was something that I really quite enjoyed and I was good at. So I ended up swimming competitively as a girl from age 8, and I swam competitively for years. And I found that, again, I was the only person that looked like me in that space, just like I was in primary school. And in my family, nobody looked like me. But that didn't matter to me in swimming, because when I was in the pool, that was my space, safe space. That was where I achieved. And I was really quite good. I used to swim 3 or 4 times a week, which is nothing really compared to really serious swimmers, but it was a lot for me. And it became my superpower. So I swam, must have started swimming about 4 or 5. I cannot remember swimming not being in my life. I love swimming. I don't do it as much as I would like to now, but that's why I got to the point where I ended up teaching part-time. So I started doing that, coaching from age 14. So I've been in the industry for 30 years now. I've been helping people to overcome their fear, to reach their swimming goals, to learn to swim, and it's so rewarding. So in 2022 I founded Unity Swimming, which is a not-for-profit organisation in Leicester that helps the Black and Asian communities primarily, because I found that there was a lack of diversity amongst the swimming world. So when I look back, and I look back at when I swam competitively, nobody looked like me on the poolside, and that's the case now really. When you look at the world stage in swimming and aquatics, there's not many people that look like me. So that was one thing that I thought, you know what, I need to speak about this and I need to do something about it. So that's why I funded Unity Swimming. But I didn't start off doing that. It called me. So in 2019, I thought, you know what, I want to go back into the world of swimming. So I trained to be a Swim England tutor. So what that means is I deliver Swim England qualifications and teach people, train people how to become a swim teacher, which I love as well. Because I used to teach art and design in secondary school, so teaching is my nature. I love to nurture people and help them to be the best they can be. And I think what helps is that because I struggled academically at school, I can help people that struggle. And let me tell you, swim teachers, we're hands-on people, and the written side of the course is not something that comes natural to us, but I really enjoy supporting people through that, because I can see them excelling on the poolside, working with the swimmers, working with the young ones, right through to adults. So when I came back to Leicester and I told everyone what I did, I'm a swim tutor, I deliver Swim England qualifications, I kept getting asked, do you do adults lessons? Do you do adults lessons? I kept getting asked. So in 2022, I formed Unity Swimming. We now have 3 weekly classes on, and I love to speak to people about the barriers that stop Black and Asian communities swimming, particularly women, hair, skin type, cultural barriers, and all of those things. But what I've realised is that all of these things happened to me for a reason, and when they were happening to me, it was kind of like, oh, this is my norm, this is what happens, things are always long-winded, this is what happens to me. But it wasn't until it was like the second season of my life. I had a human design reading a few years ago, and it's almost like my life is like a butterfly. I've always loved butterflies, got butterfly tattoos, and it was like the cocoon hatched and my wings came out and I started to fly, because I now realise that all these things that happened to me, they happened to me for a reason, and I am happy to and want to tell my story and speak on stages, not just to be able to help the people in the classroom, to help the people with me in the pool, but to speak to many, to inspire more people. And I now realise that that's what I'm meant to do, because I now know that these things happen to me because I'm meant to tell my story, so that if people hear me say, well, she's dyslexic, she struggled at school, she managed to do this. I'm running 3 businesses, and I do that because I'm passionate about them and they're things that I'm meant to do. And I found my superpower. Swimming is my superpower. So what lights me up is to help people to be their best self, to be the best that they can be, doing things that I love, to help people find their superpower. That is what lights me up. So knowing now that that's part of my human design, these things happen to me for a reason, because I was meant to tell my story, so I can inspire people. I can inspire people to take action and transform their lives for the better. And through swimming, I can change and I can save lives. And it's not just individuals, it's a whole families and communities. So this is why I speak. This is why I'm telling my story, but it's only been today that it's come together, and I've realised it, and recently I realised my why and how I've got here. So I speak to people about increasing diversity in the sports and aquatics, empowering women in business and in sport. I speak to the looked after, the fostered and adopted communities, to empower them to be proud of who they are and their identity. I didn't grow up knowing who I look like. I didn't grow up knowing my Jamaican roots, but I'm proud of who I am and my identity today. It took me a while to get there, but if I can do it, you can do it. I'm not afraid to say to people that I am dyslexic, dyspraxic. I learn differently, but that is my superpower because I can see the bigger picture and I can help people that also struggle and empathise with them, which makes me a better coach. So if you want to figure out how we can work together, how I can train your community, how I can train your workforce, or if you want me to speak on your stage, on your panel, then visit my website, catricerodriguez.com.